Welcome to Flourish Crochet. My name is Jana Kay, and this is the second video in my hashtag Christmas Extravaganza 2025 series. And I was asked by KK and Kristen at KK Crochet to take part in Christmas Extravaganza. And if you have not seen the first video, then my series is all about adding a touch of crochet to your Christmas gifts. And that's whether or not you just don't want to make bigger gifts, or you're not sure that the people that you are giving gifts to would appreciate or want handmade gifts, but it's just a way to quickly, if you're a last minute person like me as well, add a touch of your crafting, whether it's crochet, knitting, sewing, whatever it is, to your Christmas gift giving. So most of these projects that I will be showing are very simple, very quick things to make. Video number 1 was about washcloths and the ways that you can gift washcloths with your other Christmas presents that you would be giving. And today is all about bookmarks. So bookmarks are wonderful ways to add to your gift giving if you plan on giving someone books. My husband loves books, and he is always wanting books for Christmas, and a large amount of books go on his, we usually do an Amazon list just so people, whether they buy from there or not, know what we would like for Christmas, and his list is always very full of books. So I did try to come up with some bookmarks that would both work for men and women. So let's get started with the bookmarks that I have to show you. So there is a bookmark that I made a few years ago. It is called the Higher Love bookmark. It is by Lisa Hart, and she is Draguna. It is a website, and she's also on Ravelry. That's where I first found the pattern. Now, this is not a quick, easy, simple bookmark, but it is very fun to make and turns out beautiful. So you can see why she named it Higher Love. It is stacked hearts crocheted. I did use, I think it is 3 crochet thread. So the higher the number goes, the thinner it is. So 3 is probably the next step smaller than like fingering weight or lace weight yarn. And it is cotton thread. And like I said, I made it a few years ago, but what I really love, not only the pattern, it is a beautiful pattern, but she's got an excellent tutorial for tassels. And her tassel, well, it's a pattern, not a tutorial. Her tassel pattern does tell you to crochet or to chain for this part of the tassel, and then this is separate. So I will show you some bookmarks where I did not do a chain for the part that you add the tassel to, but it is a free pattern. As I said, I got it off of Ravelry, but I think you can also get it off of her website. Oh, and by the way, everyone that I mention, patterns and websites and all of that, tutorials on YouTube, will be listed in the description box below. So this does turn out a little thick like crochet does, but I keep this in my Bible, and it has smushed it along the way, and it's very nice to use. So that is the Higher Love bookmark by Lisa Hart at Draguna. I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe it's Guna. Anyway, love that bookmark. It does take a little more time to use. The next one that I found, and by the way, I am not exhausting all bookmarks that are out there. Like I said, I was looking for very quick patterns and ones that you can use basically one color of thread or yarn to make. And so the next one I found is called the Very Shelley bookmark by a Labors of Love Crochet. And I did it first out of crochet thread, and that's what it looks like. I did block these, but this one wants to twist. I did add the tassel to it from Lisa Hart's pattern, Higher Love bookmark pattern. And that's what it came out to be with crochet thread. Then I thought I would try it with a little bit thicker yarn, and I think this is sport weight yarn, and it came out quite a bit bigger. Let's see if I look away if it'll come in. You can see the difference in the size of this. This is a cotton that I had, variegated cotton that I use. This one is super easy because basically you chain, then you do the little fan or shell. That's why it's very shelly. Shell stitches going all the way down, and then you round the corner and you go all the way back. This bookmark takes no time to make at all. Then I did it with my fingering weight and lace weight yarn, the one that I used for my next to last. I can't remember which one I finished first, if it was the Hexicardi or the oversized sweater. But I had a fingering weight superwash merino and some alpaca yarn that I paired with alpaca and silk. So I did the same thing. Oh, by the way, if you have not seen that bougie crochet wearable video, I will link it here. But this is the bookmark I made holding the fingering weight and the lace weight yarn together like my oversized sweater. It came out very close to the same as sport weight because I was holding it double, just a little bit smaller. And I think for both of these, I used the same hook size. For this one, I did use a smaller. I think I used with this a 2 or 2.5 with my crochet thread. And this one, I think I went up to a 3 hook, but not exactly sure on the hook size because I made so many, trying out all different types of yarn and weights of yarn. So this is the Very Shelley by Labors of Love Crochet. So then I have 2 bookmarks by the same person, Torun Johansson, and one is Brigitta's bookmark and the other is Data's bookmark. So this one here is the Brigitta bookmark, and I guess I should hold it this way. I guess it doesn't really matter. You can gift it anyway. I do think it goes this way. It's just shell stitches side by side all the way down. So again, very quick, easy to make. This was some sock yarn, fingering weight sock yarn. So it's superwash merino and nylon. I had made a pair of socks with it and used it. The pattern has tassels attached down here, like 5 sets of tassels attached down at the bottom, not tassels that are on a string or a chain. but just attach straight into the bottom. I did not do that. And because I think when you put it in a book that it should be able, maybe it might stick out depending on the length of your bookmark, but sometimes those tassels, if it is a bigger book, won't actually stick out. I think of this size book, it would. You may see a theme to my books because this is a Jane Austen and so is this one. But this book is a lot bigger, and so a smaller bookmark fits differently in there, and tassels might get in the way. But there are tassels you can add as part of the pattern. So this is Burgita. I did it with sock yarn, so fingering weight, and I also did it with my 3 crochet thread, and it is a beautiful design and very, very quick and easy. It's I think Jada and Stitches did a mile a minute blanket, the calendar blanket, and we did a different one, and this is like mile a minute where you just go row by row by row, and it's very quick, very easy to make, turns out beautiful whether you use variegated yarn or plain solid yarn. You can do it in a solid color. You can change colors if you want to. That is Burgita by Torrin Johansson. I hope I'm saying the name right. The other one is Deta or Deta. It's D-E-T-A. And again, I did one in my sock yarn, and I did one in crochet thread. This one also has a, you can add tassels down at the bottom. Again, I did not do that, but very pretty. You can see the difference in size of these two. A very beautiful pattern, very quick, easy repeats, 3 sections. You can make it longer by adding more sections to it. So I think these probably are good bookmarks for a more feminine bookmark. Even this one, but I think depending on what color you use, you could get away with giving it to a man. Definitely the Shelley one, I think you could definitely choose yarn that would be perfect for a guy for his book, because I don't know, I don't think it looks all that feminine. And you can add a tassel like I did to this one at the end, but you choose the right yarn, and I think you could definitely give it to a male. So the next bookmark pattern that I found is the Valentine Heart by Krista at the Secret Yarnery, and it is a super quick make. So I took some sock yarn that I had made a sock with and made it, and it's so tiny, but it was very quick, easy. You make a heart, and then you add this little simple tail at the bottom of a chain. And then I did it with plain DK weight yarn, and there it is. Now hearts obviously these would work for even Valentine's Day, birthday, and I think this, because it's a chain, is thin enough to fit comfortably. This is just a regular paperback book, and I think it fits very well. The book closes nicely in there, and so yeah, so I think it would work great. If you have a book of crochet like appliques, you could even do a heart on top. I saw a bookmark with a balloon on top if it's for a child, so you don't always have to do the heart, but I do like how this is just like a little bauble. It's not necessarily a leaf, down at the bottom of the heart. And so yeah, this is the DK weight one. It fits very well. The book, you know, closes nicely with that. I don't think it necessarily has to have fingering weight, but it's really cute anyway. And you can make the chain as long as you need to fit any size book that you have. And so this is called the Valentine's Heart, and it is by Krista at The Secret Yarnery. She has a free tutorial on her YouTube channel for that. Talk about applique. A long time ago, I made this with a very long tail. This bookmark using just this applique. I don't remember the pattern, but it was just a flower tutorial. I know that that Litza at Coco's Crochet has been making different flowers. So this one doesn't lay very flat, but when you put it in a book, it's designed to hang out of the book. So another idea is just to get an applique or find, I know that blanket right there is one of Crystal's patterns. Well, all the different flowers I think are her pattern, flower pattern or square pattern. And I just chose several different ones. She had several tutorials just on the flower or the square with the flower alone, and I put them together to make a blanket. But they would also make great bookmarks if you just let the flower or the applique hang out. So again, you could do stars, you could do something more child-friendly with that, and add that just by chaining and putting a little, this one has a leaf, but like I said, Krista's is just a little bobble, circle, oval that's added to the end of it. And so, yeah. Then I was watching The Crazy Sock Lady, and she had found this knitted bookmark pattern that she fell in love with, and she made tons of bookmarks for it. And I think it is a perfect pattern. And let me get the name of it for you. So it is called the With Love bookmark. I made all three out of sock yarn, left over from socks that I had made. So this will look familiar because I had several, two other, I think, bookmarks that I've shown you made out of this sock yarn. This was from my Yarnable subscription box, and I don't remember the name of this, but that is the bookmark. And I did have to block it. It wanted to roll. It still wants to roll a little bit, but very cute. And in the same, just a regular paperback book, it lays nice and flat in there, and the book closes pretty nicely with that. I did add the tassel from the Higher Love bookmark pattern, but I only did it, this was the yarn that I had left when I tied off. And so I tied the tassel to it before I wrapped it around. You take a separate string or thread or yarn and wrap it around up at the top. And the way you do it, it looks like it's not gonna hold for very long. But like I said, I have been using this bookmark where I did the tassel the same exact way. You take a separate piece of this crochet thread or yarn and you wrap it and put the needle through the middle, and it holds. You wrap it tight enough. This has been holding up for several years now. So I put one on that, and so I did not crochet it. I just used the yarn that I had from tying off and cutting and added a tassel to it. This one was some yarn that I had from an advent calendar, and it's got a little bit of sparkle, but I don't think you can see it, but I did the same thing. I added the tassel to the yarn when I had tied it and cut it off. And so that's what that one looks like. This one is, I think it would work perfect for a guy, because this is from sock yarn that I used to make my husband a pair of socks. So he can now have a matching bookmark to go with his socks. And so I think this pattern works really well. It's very quick to knit up because it is, you knit one side and purl the next, knit, and it's only 15 stitches across, and you can either choose to do the decrease to a point, or you can make it a rectangle, and then you don't really need a tassel. So this tassel, you can tell I did not have in any more of this yarn. I used it all up, and so I found some other, a dark blue that I thought would match in there. I probably could have cut the light blue off shorter here, but I didn't. But yeah, and so that is, again, the With Love bookmark, and I don't have who it's by, but it will be in the description box below. It is a great knitting project. If you are worried about knitting socks and you want to just try your hand at fingering weight yarn at first, it will do the decreases and help you learn decreases, but you don't, like I said, you don't even have to do them, but you can practice your knitting skills with that. Or if you are already experienced, it is a quick make with any leftover sock yarn, would make great even just gifts in themselves to give away to maybe co-workers, or and obviously add a book with it. So that's my knitting project. I have one more, and this one is called Stacked Hearts. It is by the Single Girl DIY YouTube channel. It is a free tutorial. I think all of these bookmarks have been free patterns, but it's a free tutorial, and it is a sewing project. Now, she does the sewing on a machine. I did the sewing by hand, and you basically have 3 hearts that you stack and sew together. So you put the little tie inside the first heart and sew around it, put the second heart over, sew around it, put the third heart over and sew around it. And this one, I used denim and some scrap fabric that I had and did the 3 hearts this way. I also embroidered on this side, not the back side. I guess I could have done the back side, but I embroidered a little flower on top of this one. So you can, again, add handmade. These are very easy. And I sat and watched TV. That's why I hand sewed it, but you can use your machine and it will go even faster. So I made this one, and then I thought, well, flower material, very girly. What could I do to make it a little more kid or male friendly? And I had this from a crochet bag that I made, and I had used this smiley face fabric to line the inside of it. And so I used it, and I thought this would make a great bookmark for kids. And so I made sure I laid the heart pattern on top so that I would get the smiley faces in the middle of the heart. I used the denim tag again and the denim heart in between. I decided on yellow thread to sew around. Actually, it is embroidery floss that I used, and then I just practiced some more embroidery on that heart. I did it in black. Since the eyes and the mouth on both the smiley faces are in black, it doesn't show up great, but I was just experimenting. And then I thought, well, how can I add crochet to it? And so I made this. I crocheted like an applique, a flower, and added 2 flower hearts, and I stitched around with red. And it is crooked. Yeah, if I had had time, I would, or I may go back and take out the sewing and redo it and make this flower straight, because it's definitely crooked. And it's a great way you can add a tassel on the top too, to hang it from, instead of one of the tabs. You just add a tassel, maybe a red tassel to go with the flowers. But I thought, that's a great way to add crochet. I laid it out all different ways. I put the heart on top and the flower in the middle and the other heart at the bottom and worked it around. But I decided this so that I can add the tassel. But after sewing it together, I think I need to go back, because it really is bothering me that the flower is crooked. But you don't have to do a flower. Again, this could be a great gift for a man or kids. You could do a different applique. A star would work. A balloon would work. Another heart could work. And you can add crochet into sewing with this. So this was the Stacked Hearts by Single Girl Crochet. Oh, and I was going to put that bookmark in a book. Now this is a hardback book, but if you lay the bookmark in there like that, and the book closes nicely in my paperback book, and just put it right in there with the tab sticking out, and it still closes pretty well for the paperback book to hold your place. So there you go. Those are the patterns. Would love to know if you have any patterns that you have liked as far as bookmarks go. And everybody that I've mentioned, check out their channel or their patterns and add a touch of handmade to your Christmas gift giving this year. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye, y'all.